German Chancellor Olaf Scholz met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The two leaders briefed media after the meeting and agreed to bolster their bilateral ties. Listen in to the two leaders as they speak.
जर्मनी यूरोप में हमारा सबसे बड़ा ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर होने के साथ भारत में निवेश का भी महत्वपूर्ण स्रोत है। आज मेक इन इंडिया और आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान की वजह से भारत में सभी सेक्टर्स में नए अवसर खुल रहे हैं। इन अवसरों के प्रति जर्मनी की रुचि से हम उत्साहित हैं।
And with hindsight, I'm in a position to say that a lot has changed. India has undertaken an enormous rise. Much has happened, and that is also good for the relations between both our countries and peoples, and for all the goals and objectives we've set ourselves. Indeed, we are convinced, as the Prime Minister said, that both our countries are closely linked because we have similar ideas.
For more on this, we are now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibbal from New Delhi. Siddhant, what's the latest from the meeting?
Well, the meeting, of course, has concluded, and we saw the press statements. Of course, focusing on many global issues, and one issue dominating the comments made by both the leaders, that's the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated the call for dialogue and diplomacy as the only way forward for resolution of the ongoing conflict. Of course, he pointed out to issues like cross-border terrorism, also on issues like trade. Germany is an important trading partner for India. But if you look at the German Chancellor's comments, he, of course, used the phrase, the Russian war of aggression on Ukraine. That's a very strong statement being made from Delhi, which, of course, has close ties with Moscow, and also saying that it's a major catastrophe. Now, India this year is the host of the G20 grouping and the SCO grouping, and, of course, is seen as a diplomatic heavyweight. So, role India can play when it comes to resolution of this ongoing conflict is something that is dominating the global capitals. And, of course, New Delhi's centrality in terms of its neutrality is something that has been talked about. We know what the Indian Prime Minister said last year on the sidelines of the Samarkand summit, saying that this is not an era of war, and that phase since then has really cashed up. We have seen Western leaders several times talking about that specific phrase that this is not an era of war, and next week in fact will be very crucial because we will see the G20 foreign ministers meeting, and that could essentially pave way for a larger thought process or conversation as to how India can lead up to a resolution of this ongoing conflict in Europe.
Siddhant, in recent times, the US has also sort of gravitated a lot towards India. Of course, Olaf Scholz's first visit to India also happening now. Is the Indo-Pacific region one of the main reasons why most of the West is coming towards India as of now?
Well, that remains a key focus area. Remember, Germany, France, in fact, Italy as well have come out with their own visions and outcome documents on the Indo-Pacific. And Indo-Pacific, of course, is a place where large portion of global trade flows, a substantial portion of the global population stays here, and two of the largest economies, that's India and China, are present. So we have seen increasingly countries from the West, in fact, Canada has also issued Indo-Pacific outcome documents. So they see India as the key pillar of their Indo-Pacific strategy. And that is why increasingly Western leaders have been trying to focus on India, trying to talk about how India can play a global role. And of course, as the largest democracy, India has also been putting its word and, of course, weight when it comes to global issues, whether it's climate change. On climate change, we know India has come out with the International Solar Alliance, or whether it's the ongoing conflict in Europe, how the Indian Prime Minister's comments that this is not an era of war has been reverberating since last year, especially in the Western capitals.
Thank you for all those updates, Siddhant.